Hey guys, DZ Dog here. Just wanted to let you know that this episode gets pretty political, so if you want to just skip it, I wouldn't blame you. Anyways, thanks for listening.
The D-pad contains crude language, cringe humor, and suggestive themes. Viewer discretion is advised.
I was feeling pretty good for la 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 la. Taking my time on the la 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 la. Snow falling down in the la 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 la.
We're gonna have a TV party tonight. Alright! We're gonna have a TV party, alright!
First of all, I want to formally apologize about that. I'm feeling a little bit ill today, so I have a little bit of a headache, and I kind of blew out a little bit of my voice because I went to a karaoke party last night. And I was supposed to go to another party today, and I decided not to go because I wasn't feeling all that well, and my boyfriend decided to nurse me. So, all the craziness that has been going on, it's just please, I'm sorry, just forget my boyfriend there. He's just
was that
really
the reason for the high-pitched squeal we heard?
Yeah, I am so sorry because I was like, you're embarrassing me, you're going to embarrass me, and he's like, he does this insane what is it he does this like crazy Alucard impression, and it's like he was just being really cheeky, and I'm like, no. So he teases me with that.
Just like every time I think about Alucard, I keep imagining that one scene I saw from Hellsing or Ultimate. You've been invited to a party. Are there going to be strippers in it? No, then you lost me.
He does that line very, very well. My boyfriend and I'm like, and what sucks about that even more is technically, I think I already told you guys this, that technically I only have two husbandos, and Alucard being one of the two husbandos in my life. So yeah, so this is just bad juju all around. So,
oh god.
But enough with my romantic craziness. How is everybody doing?
Well, aside from the fact my tower did a random restart again lately, not much.
Alright. Also, I apologize again. Not completely feeling all that well, and my D&D session ran a little bit longer than normal because we're actually planning to. We just finished Storm King's Thunder. So that story has been completed, but we're deciding what our next campaign is going to be, and I'm in crossroads between a wizard Tressum, a reincarnation of a Tressum. So a Tressum wizard, a centaur arcane knight, or a tabaxi vampire hunter.
Oh, I know nothing of D&D, so I'm not sure if that's good or
Well,
not.
I literally remember Storm King's Thunder, and I think that's a recent expansion for the Neverwinter game.
Actually, you're not wrong. Neverwinter.
Because I definitely remember Neverwinter, and I remember that they did a patch for this recent update called Storm King's Thunder, and the recent patch that I remember them doing now involved this expansion where they go into like a jungle and there's like a freaking T-Rex in it.
That is I forgot. It's a secluded island. It's basically D&D with Jurassic Park attached to it. I already have a character for that particular story, my dear Miss Hope Dart. Minxie Hope Dart, or Minx Hope Dart, or the kids that she looks after are call her Miss Minxie. I have I can't recall the actual name of the expansion, but it's an island based story, and
Okay, that makes sense.
with the dinosaurs. As far as Storm King's Thunder, again, I'm still fairly new to the D&D universe, so I don't know if it's an expansion. All I know is it's a part of Edition 5. It's part of 5th edition, so I'm not entirely sure if it's an expansion. I just literally came in. I have to say it's a wonderful experience. It's able to let me experiment and stretch my writer's legs as well as character development. And it gives me some ideas for my manga, some characters that I can actually flesh out a little bit more, a little bit further than normal. Heck, I should actually use one of my characters to play in the D&D universe in hopes to kind of round them out a little bit more, because I have a lot of characters actually. What is it? Today was my very first time of basically playing a tiefling.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, I think they're a race of people who make whose race is known to make contract with demons or have connection to them.
They are descendants of, unfortunately, an insidious gods, or insidious demon, or devils, actually. And unfortunately, this poor race, they have, there might be a time where humans actually mated with devils or what have you, and this poor race that came out of it, that offspring, are basically unjustifiably persecuted because of the certain traits they carry. They have tails like devils, they have cloven hooves at times, they sometimes share the horns, they might have a combination of all three, they might just have 2 traits, they might just have 1 trait. But the fact of the matter is, they are persecuted, they are treated differently, they are treated like the scourge, and a lot of them turn evil because of the fact that they're saying that, oh, you look at me as a monster, you treat me as a monster, well, I'm going to show you what a monster is. And unfortunately, that is the case. But for my particular character, this particular character is a bard. This is the second time I've played a bard. She resembles more of a fawn. She's basically a very, very fluffy, brightly pink, ice pink color tiefling who is said to be, because of her performance, it has enchanted not only elven and men, but it also has enchanted the gods. So much so that there is one specific god or goddess that has taken a deep favor in her, so much so that she has been blessed. Titan, what's going on? I'm sorry, that's my dog Titan. So much so that she's been blessed by a god and goddess, which basically changed her appearance. She is not necessarily she didn't start out bright pink. Instead, she was your common tiefling, red or bluish color or blackened color, or grayish color. She wasn't any different from any other tiefling until that happened to her, and therefore she is somewhat a little estranged to her fellow tieflings. Some tieflings are not very happy by the favoritism of it all, and others adore her to the point of obsession. Unfortunately, she has been bar hopping from time to time because there's some people that want to require her services in various different ways, hire her for performance purposes, or let alone cage her in sort of like a collector's type of menagerie or a more of a brothel aspect. And she doesn't like this. She likes being free, and she's an alkali. So she believes in the natural gods and goddesses. She's a servant. She's said to be the servant of life and music and creativity. So her main life's goal is to serve this particular god or goddess. And maybe that same goddess and god might have blessed her. Maybe it was some other god. We don't know. But that's Hui Feng is her name. Hui Feng is so that's my tiefling for today's D&D. So yeah,
That's pretty cool.
But that whole thing about the tieflings, I just thought that is literally what my species, the Animalize, are kind of going through in my novel. But it wasn't, well, really their fault.
it's not. It really isn't.
It was like a series of unfortunate events well beyond their control, though there was also a bit of speciesism due to some other events that way beyond their control that they can't, well, many don't want to talk about, but kind of had to reveal, and it's complicated. My character Kibo, a wolf animalis, he kind of survived a horrific incident that pretty much just left a massive dead wasteland in the eastern seaboard, and he managed to get all the way down to North Carolina.
So this takes place it takes place in America.
Yeah, but it's also in our world, just a variation of it. But thing is, he manages to get his way into Charlotte, or rather what was Charlotte, but is now a massive, well, major part of the city is all futuristic sci-fi tech. The other half is just old, run-down, like current modern day style architecture. When he's like, wait, how long have I been away? What the hell? And someone points out he's been like out of it for like 6 months, and he just freaks. He's like, what? So he's trying to figure out A, what the hell happened in the 6 months he was gone, B, trying to survive in this crazy ass world, and C, well, that and trying not to get involved with the whole politics of the area. He really doesn't care for politics. Other than that, he was a good guy, and he was raised from right and wrong, but he doesn't remember what happened the night of the incident. And he's just got these two voices in his head that basically are just helping him to survive. Yeah, he just honestly wonders if he might have schizophrenia or he's just starting to become insane from everything that's happened. Both are just interesting theories, but the truth is vastly complicated.
I see.
And you got another character of mine, Sesta, who is basically a troll. He's not an actual troll. He just likes to mess with people at times.
Oh, he's that type of troll.
He's good. He's a good guy at times, but he can't help but just mess with someone, like act cryptic.
Well, be careful because he might end up. That might end up. What is it?
Coming back around.
Yeah, it might backfire on him if he's not careful.
There's a kind of a reason why he's kind of a dick, but as he states, don't try to warn. If you're gonna warn me about this, you should probably know I've been around the block for a long time. I've seen this, so I can safely say all this and not fear punishment. I mean, I know they're gonna punish me either way. I can just take it.
Well,
because I'm immortal.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, he's
you know.
still generally a good. He still wants to do the right thing, though. He still wants to do the right thing, but when it comes to things that he talks about, he's just blunt about it, about his opinions.
Okay.
Like he
Well,
will, yeah.
no, I was gonna go into another aspect of like character building and design and what have you. So but if you want to continue with that aspect of your story, you can.
Yeah, I still need to get back into it because it's been a long time. Because I've been playing games, checking about my school, doing my schoolwork. Because I have two seminars at the same time due to a scheduling kind of error I got that I can't get
Oh,
out of.
oh,
I
I'm
played
sorry.
myself on that because I didn't get a chance to properly schedule my classes when I had the chance, so I had to take both of them at the same time, and both are required classes. So thankfully, the next two classes I got after these are easy. They're just 1 hour long, so I could just boop pop in one thing for an hour, then when that one's up, boop get into the other one. Good, barring technical difficulties, because the recent class I was in, I had to wait 30 minutes for one of them, so I was just in like one of the classes, listening to that for about half an hour, joined the other class, and I had to juggle between the two of them. I had to use my tower and my laptop that I use for my schoolwork at the same time.
Mm.
At least it's better than actual classes.
Yeah, especially since now outside it's really cold. So glad I don't have to
Oh
take
yeah,
actual classes. That's good.
yeah, good times. Well, mostly bad times because take classes sucks. At least with online classes, they're a lot easier.
Huh.
Yeah, because you can do any of the work. You can just do any of the work in like one, two, three.
Okay.
So you kind of like have your own just
Yeah, my
go
own
at your own
schedule.
pace. Oh, that's
So
cool.
long as I do it before the next Tuesday, the Tuesday of next week, which would be this week, I'm good.
Okay.
So, has anyone seen the new Star Wars movie?
I have not. I must admit I am so sorry that I have fallen behind as far as going to the movies. I miss Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I miss I think Thor Ragnarok is still out, but it's about to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
And the new Star Wars movie I haven't seen yet. So I am racking up a huge IOU check for epic movies or comic book movies. I hope my geek license has not been revoked. However, I did finally finish My Hero Academia and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Okay, FMAB I already finished like a long time ago, but
I
tell me your thoughts
know,
on
I know.
Hiro. Tell me your thoughts on Hiro Aka,
Hiraaka.
My Hero Academia.
My Hero Academia or Boku no Hero Academia.
I think they
I
prefer the English subtitle because Boku no kinda brings up bad memories of Boku no Pico.
oh
would not
god, I
have to
wasn't really thinking about that,
Why
but
did you have to
okay.
bring that up?
Yeah, it's the title. It literally just Boku no and then just replaced with Academia. Or yeah, let's never discuss that anime ever again. But go back to My Hero Academia.
My Hero Academia is a very good anime so far. I haven't read the manga yet. But I'm hoping to finally get a chance to. I'm actually reading another manga, but it's not even, it's a manga from Korea instead. It's a Korean manga.
You have me interested.
But I don't know if you like romance comedy mangas.
I've seen a few good. I've seen Spirit Girl Zakuro. It was a romance manga that also has an anime adaptation. Read a little bit of the manga, saw the anime, loved it. It was good.
Okay.
'Cause
Well,
yeah, because I like saw it one day. I was like, huh. I was trying to think of what it was called again, and then one day, boop, it just came to me. Found that
okay.
cover again, saw it, finished it. I thought it was a cute anime. You might like it. I'll leave a
Okay.
link to you later. So, what was the Korean manhwa you were reading?
Manga. It's called Blood Sweet.
Never heard of it.
Um.
I think the only one of the few Korean manhwas I've read is the Breaker series. The Breaker and the Breaker New Waves. It's a martial arts one.
Oh, I see.
It was still good though. I mean, kid kind of gets bullied, but meets this teacher who knows the way of martial arts or Murim,
Mhm.
and he asks him to teach him. And because of this, he ends up getting involved in the world of Murim, which is the
Muru?
basic Murim, the martial arts. That's the term for martial arts, and
Oh.
other Murim means the term for martial arts in that world. Turns out his teacher is known as the Nine Arch Dragon, who is infamous in that world for wanting to, according to them, destroy the Murim world and like destroy the barrier between the normal and Murim worlds.
Okay.
Yeah, it's set in present day, like modern day Seoul, South
Okay.
Korea. It's
Oh.
good. Oh yeah, it's like a really good one, and it involves the various clans of the martial arts alliance, Chunwo, the Nine Arch Dragon and the Black Forest Defense, and Shion, Shion, the main character, kind of getting involved with it because of his master Chunwo. Then it goes into like the whole political aspect of it, and there's a shadow group trying to manipulate the Nine Arch Dragon to work with him. So lots of like ass kicking, lots of fighting, lots of badassness. It was awesome. There's a lot of
Okay.
interesting martial arts techniques I never knew about that are actually fairly cool.
Which techniques? And I'm not talking about kung fu.
I know the martial arts techniques it actually tells them about the intricacies of each of the techniques. Like various schools have their own separate like techniques that they learn. Like the Sunwo clan is a technique that focuses on, I think, like speed and damage, and the Sunwo clan is like shrouded in myth, but they're also the most wild of the members of Martial Arts Alliance and most powerful, since all of the members of the group are badasses in their own right.
Okay. That
But
sounds really cool.
the style of technique that Shion learns is called, I'm trying to remember the name for it, but I think it was called the Black Heaven and Earth technique, Earth School. That I remember one instance is that Shion was learning foot techniques, which involves using rapid movement of the feet to do things like, make it look like you're moving so fast you're teleporting, or you can just go behind a guy and deliver a punch. And it's really interesting because it involves the mechanics of the moves and stuff is really explained and detailed. And I think not only that, but it also has some interesting works with Chinese as well, Chinese martial arts, because I think of the Murim having to go into hiding because they kept developing, but they didn't want the Murim to be involved with the normal modern world, so they agreed to keep the two worlds separate from each other.
Okay.
It's still a good one though. But I mean, the authors actually had to take a break because they never anticipated how popular both the Breaker and its sequel New Waves were actually going to be. So it's still good. I mean, they did update it with a few extra bonus chapters at the end to explain some things, and things are getting really, really crazy now.
Okay.
So I'm really excited for when they bring it back, because I'm really excited to see how this is going to go. Oh, it's done.
Huh.
My download.
That's good. I haven't really been watching any anime. Let's see. JoJo, I guess, or maybe read the manga.
Ooh, that's a really good one. That's a really good one.
I need to get back into Stardust. I need to get back into that because I haven't really been touching JoJo ever since. I haven't really been touching JoJo at all. I've just been missing it.
I finished Stardust Crusaders a long time ago.
I need to keep seeing that because I am missing out so bad.
Yeah, part 4
Honestly,
is really good. It's a lot of people say it kind of diverges from the main plot a lot, but I enjoyed it for what it was. It was very down to earth, I guess. It was like kind of slice of life ish.
What are you referring to?
Diamond is Unbreakable.
Okay, because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then things.
I think I've read Diamond is Unbreakable.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. I don't really want to say much more because, you know, spoilers and all that.
Okay.
Oh boy. Let's see what else happened.
Question. Before we get into more anime, I don't know when the next podcast will be, but since because the holidays are coming up, what have you been up to for the holidays? Have you gotten all your Christmas shopping done? Are you like at this point in time you're like, oh, I want this portion to be over? Or are you basically swayed or play devil's advocate by basically, getting a little here, getting a little there for yourself, sort of like being your end of the year sort of self-indulging portion before you say, okay, that's it for the year. I'm not going to spend stuff on myself until like towards the end of the year again, etc. What's going on for the holidays?
Well, my family doesn't really want anything, and neither do I. I don't know, maybe I'll get like a new graphics card.
I kind of got a few things in mind. Well, first I need to renew my subscriptions for PlayStation and GameStop. Then I need to get a monitor for my computer, for my tower, so I can stop using my TV as a monitor. Another big one. Debating whether or not maybe to get a little controller for my tower so I can play certain Steam games that need a controller. Other than that, oh yeah, also I need to get that Destiny 2 season pass so I can get the Curse of Osiris.
Probably just use your PS4 controller if it has the USB port. It should.
It does. I'm currently using it though.
You use it for both PS4 and PC.
No, I'm currently using it for PS4 right now.
Oh. Well, you just switch it over when you're done.
True.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do with my awful Xbox 360 controller.
I can safely say, I really don't spend a lot I don't spend a lot on myself throughout the year. Usually I'm so focused on work and artwork and commissions, and heck, right now, I'm actually, while talking to you, I'm doing some writing for my D&D, but right after I'm going to work on a commission that I have, which is a story that I really wish to tell because it's a very heartfelt story. But I'll get to that in a few minutes. But I will send you a picture of what has happened to me in the past few months. Basically, I don't spend a lot of time. Usually I'm focused on everything else. I'm focused on everybody else, birthdays, I make stuff throughout the year, and usually I just save. But as soon as November rolled around and it was my last hurrah for conventions for the year, I ended up basically sort of treating myself a bit from here on out, from here in a little bit. And here are some pictures of what.
Oh my lord.
Oh boy.
I am considered to be the my boyfriend makes fun of me a lot. He calls it my little he tries to basically tease me, and basically he says this is my little infestation. I am also known as the mother of EVs. So this is my little collection, and may I mind you, this is only a portion of the collection. I actually have a storage area, a family storage area where I have a small bin of some of their little relatives, some of their brothers and sisters. I guess I don't know if I told you this in the last podcast. My friend decided to be cute, and she knows how much I have the biggest yen for Eevee plushies, so she showed me a picture of an upcoming set of Eevees. Apparently, I guess this year they were celebrating a lot of the evolutions, and they came out with 2 collections. They came out with the sleeping Eevees, which you probably see on top of my bed, the Glaceon and Leafeon and the Jolteon, which is the new new member of the family. That one I got from my dear brother. But they decided to do the sleeping collection and the life-size EVs, which, may I mind you, the life-size EVs are very expensive. So luckily a friend and I banded together, and I got the giant Vaporeon, and
Vaporeon.
Huh?
I'm sorry. Vaporeon.
Vaporeon, yeah.
Vape.
Oh, ha ha ha, very funny. And you know what else is pretty funny? That Vaporeon actually turns into mist, when it uses acid armor. But yeah, the large ones are very, very expensive. But thanks to an associate of mine, and we banded together, and I managed to get this beautiful Vaporeon, this giant Vaporeon, and that's pretty much as far as Christmas. Don't get me wrong. Please, whatever you do, I am not a selfish, you know what. I managed to get what I needed to get for the family and what have you, but this is sort of like my Christmas gift to myself, because unfortunately I don't get to do it that often. I want to basically reserve all my otaku-dem or my otaku habits when I finally move out and what have you. So this is the only aspect that I have of myself that basically I can express freely without saying to myself, oh my goodness, yeah, I have no room. So that's pretty much the extent of self-spendage, I suppose. I mean, I got a couple of other stuff too, like, you know, stuff that I need, but you know, that's basically the highlight of this year. And also the constant heckling from my boyfriend, so yeah. So yeah. So sorry if I hope I'm not scaring you guys too much.
No.
Yeah, I know a friend who has a lot of Pokemon plushies.
Yeah.
Well,
Not EVs, but a lot of plushies actually.
Well,
And
well, I can't help it. They're really adorable. Heck, I'm really enchanted of what they did with Vulpix. Alolan Vulpix and regular Vulpix. I mean, regular Vulpix was already cute, but even more cuter with the ice. And I always love that parallel between fire and ice. And yeah, it's just, I just love it. I just really, really love it. And it's really cool. And I really, you know, I just really like it. I really do like it. And, you know, so it's like, yeah. So I had to prevent myself from going the extra mile and getting other Pokemon plushies besides the Eevees, because the Eevees are already troublesome to collect.
Those are rare.
Well, because there's 9 of them, and Nintendo knows what they're doing. They're not dumb. So, you know, Eevee...
Lowering demand or supply. Increased demand.
Supply and demand, right, exactly. And the evolutions, as far as I am concerned, I feel out of all the Pokemon, I think they are the... I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I think they are the most popular out of the Pokemon. As far as cuteness is concerned, that is most popular besides Pikachu. Because Pikachu is iconic. It's like Mickey Mouse. You can't like get away from Pikachu. But as far as any other Pokemon besides who is up in popularity, I would have to say it's Eevee. So what have you? Because when Ultimate Sun and Moon came out, I know a lot of my fellow Eevee fans were complaining that there was not a new evolution. They came out with Sylveon and there was no counterbalance. And for many years, there's always a counterbalance to the evolutions. You had, first you had Eevee, you had Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon, which are counters among themselves. And then you had... Umbreon and Espeon, Dark and Light, and then you had Glaceon and Leafeon, which is ice versus, grass, which are oppositions in that, and then you have Sylveon,
who's the fairy.
You gotta have like
Right.
a poison
Like
type.
a rock or a ghost type yet.
Yeah, see, a lot of people are debating it should be a dragon type, poison type, a ghost type, that type of thing. Me personally, that's my selections: poison type, dragon type, or ghost type selection for the new evolutions. But I don't think they're going to add another one because, Eevee's already popular. You have a nice healthy number of, I think, 8. I think there are 8 evolutions. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on, let me think of this.
I think there are 15.
Survey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. There's a total of 9 evolutions. So, there are 8 evolutions of Eevee, but there are 9 in total, including Eevee itself. So, yeah, that's a lot to collect among them, just among themselves. Now, to add that with any other Pokemon, it would be quite difficult. Quite difficult. So, and plus, I don't think I need anybody else heckling me about my collections and what have you. So, it's like whatever. So going on to...
We were talking about My Hero Academia.
Right, I'm sorry, we got
Way
really
sidetracked.
It's cool.
I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to season 3. I'm deeply concerned of All Might. Because he says
if you read, he's concerned that he's running out of time.
Yeah, he's running out of time in the sense of, what are you running out of time? Like, that worries me because it's like, oh no, we're not going with that shonen trope of losing a master. See, with Yu Yu Hakusho, the master basically came back from the dead because Koenma, made this happen, and it's logical in that regard. Or I think either that or Toguro took her place in HE double hockey sticks after sacrificing himself and what have you, for all the people that he hurt in during the Dark Tournament, and even before then, even just to basically punish him for becoming a demon when he won the first Dark Tournament. So I'm hoping All Might doesn't go the same route, because I really like, first of all, I really like him. He's really funny. And it's nice to see this alter ego sort of like he's this big macho, smiling, but on the downtime, his sort of like secret identity is this frail, gets really sick, looks like the wind could just blow over him at any given moment. I like All Might, and it makes me very, very, very sad. If something bad were to happen to him. Todoroki. Oh God, Todoroki.
Shota.
Okay, let me be frank. Yes, me and several. Well, first of all, I have my two husbandos. What's going on over there?
Huh?
I hear a lot of rustling, so I don't know.
Sorry, I was moving my mic.
Okay. Yes, I know a lot of fangirls really like Todoroki. I like Todoroki, but there's a couple of things, a couple of traits that he's missing that I like in a husbando. Actually, I tried to go for, dare I say it, I know this might sound really wrong of me, but I've been looking for this triple threat, meaning I have two husbandos. I'm looking for my third, and unfortunately, every guy that I've seen that shows serious potential just missed it by the mark. And it's very saddening. Todoroki is one of those very attractive young man. Love his powers of ice and fire. I always love that combo, but I don't know. He's just not. I like men, I guess, of a supernatural caliber. I guess, as my boyfriend would tell me, he's not of a paladin point of view. Apparently, if you want to take this in D&D terms, a lot of the husbandos are more paladin based. They have this particular belief or thing that they follow to the ends of the earth, no matter what, and what have you. That's a story for another time. But Todoroki, I really, really like. I feel really bad for him for all the BS that he has to go through, especially the fact that, man, I really want to basically beat the daylights out of his father, Endeavor.
I think everyone does. He's a shit person personally, but he is still the second greatest hero.
No.
No. He's just a terrible person in general.
He's a terrible person and a hero, a true do you think you know? I think it's understandable why he's number 2, because he lacks that conviction that All Might has. I'm sorry, that's my significant other right now, but yeah, that is basically the reason why I feel he's number 2, is because he lacks that conviction. What makes a hero a hero? It's not about you. Endeavor makes it about him. So much so that he basically tore his family apart and made poor Todoroki as miserable as he is. And basically, because of Endeavor, ruined his relationship between him and his mother. So I'm sorry. Yeah, he's a hero. He's a hero in the sense he has magical power. You know, he has superpowers, but he's not a hero in my book when it comes to his own family. I feel that you have to be more than just a person with flashy powers to be deemed a hero. This is also one of the reasons why I like Yu Yu Hakusho so much, when it came to how they view yokai, demons, that demons are not necessarily inherent bad or inherently good. They have a choice, unlike in Western culture where demons are considered bad. No, in Eastern culture, demons are, some of them are very mischievous, some of them are very good, and they like to help out humans or even let alone marry humans. And then there's some that are just flat out just like horrible creatures, and they'll go around and eat people and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, Endeavor, he can eat it. He can eat it. He really can, because I really don't like him.
I think even Bakugo actually was disgusted by Endeavor's attitude when he learned what happened to Todoroki.
Bakugo is slowly growing on me, but he's still annoying as all hell.
I think
I'm
even
sorry.
I agree. I just want to see him either get called out for his bullying behavior to Izuku, or at the very least, someone beat the shite out of him so badly that he starts to rethinks his attitude.
Because I feel that his conviction is based on, oh, heroes win automatically. Yeah, okay, that is perceived in TV shows and what have you, and stories that they tell. But a lot of the cases, it's not necessarily winning by physical means. He is just raw power, if anything, and Bakugo doesn't think everything through. To give a better thought, the only time I seen him actually think was that fight between him and the Gravity Girl.
Gravity.
Uh,
That was hard to watch.
yeah, that was really, really bad. That tournament.
The tournament itself
French.
focuses solely on the physical aspects of being a hero. It doesn't focus like the mental aspects, like Shinzo.
Actually, it did briefly. Shinzo, and in order for Deku to even get out of that situation, is he basically had to willpower his way out. With the support of the All Might that was given to him. Sorry for one, the All for One that was given to him. So that in itself was something that he had to get out without, excuse me, I'm so sorry, without physical means. So
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't necessarily agree with all that. We're getting feedback here.
Uh-oh. Well, I haven't watched much Hero Academia. I finished the first season, but I haven't started with season 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
A
definitely
lot of
check
people
it out.
act after seeing Shinzo though act like after seeing Shinzo in the anime. A lot of people have actually been suggesting that that he actually gets transferred out of the class that he's in to the hero course, and like they remove Mineta because they really don't see Mineta as like
Doesn't seem Mineta as what?
Mineta is like not that much of a good character. Like
He's a useless fraud.
yeah,
Mineta, is that the one who panics and the one who
It's the ball guy, I think.
The ball guy.
He like makes those balls.
yeah.
Oh, the one who looks like he's walking around in a diaper and he wants to be basically popular with the ladies. That's the main reason why he wants to become a hero.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, Mineta is basically that because of the fact that he's also the perverted one. Like a lot of people.
He's Moroku, but in reverse. He's
Yeah.
Moroku, where the girls don't necessarily. It's the opposite around, where he wants to be popular with the ladies, but the girls kind of overlook him because he's not your stereotypical He's not a very attractive male to warrant. Yeah. And I feel that, again, that's a poor excuse of becoming a hero. But then again, this teaches you that all heroes are not just doing it to be heroic. Heck, they're doing it for a day job. Others are doing it for their family and want to help them out and become famous so they can get money to help out their own family, which technically, in my view, isn't wrong because you're helping out both sides of the gamut. You're helping yourself as well as helping people around. And it's okay and it's nice to get some admiration as well as a little money off to the side. So I can understand that. But if you're just doing it for the money and the fame, like Mount Lady, which, oh my goodness, she's a pain in the arse. I like Midnight better. Midnight and she's of creation. She creates things out of thin air. She was part. Oh right, I'm gonna be quiet right about that right now because
season 2 spoiler.
Yeah, Yorozo.
Hmm?
Yeah, Yorozo.
Yeah, Rosa. Yeah, Yori Rosa. Yeah, her. you know, I like Pinky too. Pinky.
She's just adorable.
Yes, she is. She's adorable. And also, Ghetto, Ghetto, Ghetto,
Oh yeah, I
Ghetto,
love her.
Ghetto. Yeah, she's adorable too. So yeah, so we got a lot of very cute characters. They're all very interesting. Also, another one is also a very good. I can't remember his name, but he has a tail. He has a
I
cute little
forgot-
tail.
I know his name. I forgot his name as well, but I know who you're talking about. The guy
He's
with
a-
the tail who, like, I know after the first part of the games, he actually quit because he felt like he didn't deserve to be in there.
Uh-huh.
I like him. He is cool.
He's adorable too. He's very sweet in nature and helped Deku out in the tournament and what have you. But let's not spoil too much because this one of our fellow otaku has not fully seen the show.
No.
So I'll leave it at that. What is it? Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else could we state.
What was your favorite fight?
I can't talk about
Yeah, it's gonna
that
get into
one.
spoiler territory.
Yeah, I can't talk about that one because it's the fight that I favored most is in the second season. So I can't say too much about it, so I have to be very careful. But changing up the subject, what do you guys like? I haven't seen much of Steven Universe, but have you guys been watching it at least?
Yeah, there's actually going to be the new episodes going to be coming out. Have been coming out lately, and there's going to be new ones involving Lars soon.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't copied Bomb yet because I don't have the app. I need to get it. Yeah, you gotta do all this just to watch these episodes. You gotta, contact your service provider. You gotta give them the information and all that.
No, I haven't. I don't necessarily do that. I just go online and just, watch it from there.
But that's what. Hold on. You kind of have to. I know it's bad to say this, but when you do it like that, you're ending up like screwing over the creators because they don't get the ratings. So that's why I do all that. But you do what you gotta do. I do that sometimes.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. What else? Anything else have you guys been up to lately?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I have actually been watching a bit more of well, I know that Fox Spirit Matchmaker's Chinese dub has finally been uploading the recent new episodes of the
episode of what?
Most recent episode is episode 63, and it's starting to go into the Southland arc.
Okay, I never heard of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fox Spirit Matchmaker. I need to get back into watching that. It's pretty good.
The Japanese dub just finished airing the most recent, like the first season of the show, and now the next season is going to start showing once they get the Japanese dub to catch up. The Chinese dub is already up on the Nanguo arc, or the Southland arc as they call it, and it's starting to get into some interesting territories. It's starting to talk about the mysterious princess of Southland, the poison bringer.
Oh.
And we start to get her backstory too.
I still need to finish episode 11. I don't know. It's been a while. I watched I think up to 10, so I'm kind of just rewatching it.
I actually am really liking it because of the fact how it's starting to talking about the relationship between Bai and Suzu.
Oh yeah, the tracksuit guy and the pink-haired fox girl.
Or it's actually orange, but they kind of changed it to yellow for some reason.
Ah. Yeah, they're a cute little couple.
Yeah, it's kind of cute though. Thing is, the fact is like is the fact that Bai still kind of cares about food as of the recent episodes, and it's sort of like putting a damper on the relationship at times. I mean, she even tries to, working on making making a little food for himself, but things are starting to get a bit crazy.
I see.
Still wearing the tracksuit. Like
Yeah.
a real Gopnik. Sorry, that's all I focus on. I like it. It's good. It's like Ren DMC. I dig it.
I'm sorry about that. My phone keeps going off. Gee.
It's fine. Ah, jeez. This episode, it's been I don't know. It's been a thing. I don't know. I'm not really feeling it, but I like it. I like when we have our little talks.
Okay. I never heard of this series. First of all.
Mark, you wanna explain? I forgot.
Fox Spirit Matchmaker is evolving a world in which humans and yokai live together. Problem is the fact that yokai tend to live a lot longer than humans can. So to compensate for that, the Tushan Fox Spirits created this matchmaking service where a yokai and human couple can go and, for an exchange of half of a yokai's power, they will take an object, split it in two, and that would allow the object that's split in two, as long as both sides have it, it means that basically both sides can be reincarnated in the next life.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit of a way to fix that part, and afterward the thing is, both sides there's like the matchmakers basically are tasked with ensuring that the reincarnated lovers are reunited.
Okay.
And this actually helps out when it comes to taking care of the political and problems of both sides, because there's the Yichidao League, a group of Taoists made of some of the greatest Taoist families in the world that all combine their powers together to form the League. Bai Yu Chu is this kid who was trying to get out of a 500-year plan that the League had planned to have him marry off to someone else. Whereas Suzu is a matchmaker who isn't exactly that good. She's still a fox spirit, but she's not exactly as a matchmaker compared to her older sister Tushan Yaya.
She's a dope.
She's the adorable dope. But she's gonna aim to become the greatest matchmaker in the world. And to that end, her first matchmake is involving this girl who is a reincarnation of a princess who fell in love with a fox this prince from the Sand Fox Kingdom. So she and Bai have to work together after having a bit of a bad crash in. Kind of have to work together to take care of it. They have to basically take care of that problem together, and that's when they start to team up. But it also involves as the story progresses, it also involves not only those two, but also Wang Fu Guai.
Yeah, he's like some rich dude.
Yeah, he's a rich dude who's like he's better looking, stronger, much more powerful child because he has magical artifacts.
And he's a douche. No one likes him.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Who actually happens to be the reincarnation of has a bit of a problem with the spider woman who, as it turns out, is the reincarnation of who's a spider woman who fell in love with his past life, who was considered the most powerful of the Fugi family, Wangguan Fugi.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
It's a lot of past lives, and not to mention the fact that Suzu and Bai have a much more deeper connection that most people wouldn't know.
Okay.
it's starting to get really interesting because this current season involves the the main bad guys who are after them and their relationships. Like you think some people are bad, but then you start to learn more about their past, and it really starts to get interesting. Even inspired me to create a character for that series who's gonna sort of become a bit of a bit of a Chinese character, a bit of a character I made specifically for Chinese, who is a member of this triad who is badass. He's a bit of a badass, but he's definitely still got but he's still a nice guy. Like, don't mess with any kids around him, and he'll probably be good. He lost his folks due to a triad incident, and he was taken in by the head of the triad whom his father worked with.
Oh, so... Oh, no, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say it.
His,
Just make a joke.
his father didn't want him to be in the triad, but certain things kind of forced his hand, and eventually Zhao Long is his name. Eventually was brought into the triad, and eventually worked up his way to becoming the leader's right hand man. He's not really brought into the more violent part of the triad stuff, but he can be violent. At best, he mostly just has to take care of other Yaguai moseying on their turf.
Dogwood. That sounds familiar.
Yaguai is the Chinese term for monster. Think of it like yokai.
Okay.
That's basically it. In the Japanese dub, it's called yokai. In the Chinese dub, it's yaguai.
Oh my god. Okay.
For the safety of it, we can just call them yokai, because that's mostly what they're called in the Japanese dub anyway.
Okay.
So, Zhao, his friend's son, who belongs to a character who's also getting involved in the story, and their third buddy, Jackie, who
Wait,
is
this your series or
my series.
okay?
It's still a Sen Fox Spirit Matchmaker universe.
Oh, okay. It's like fanfic.
Yeah, fanfic. And Zhao ultimately gets involved with this because, well, Bai kind of bunks with him. I say bunk, but mostly he's just mooching off of him.
I see.
Yeah, Bai mooches off of him, and the thing is, the reason why Bai is kind of afraid of taking off Zhao is because he can kick his ass. I mean, Bai is strong. Zhao can at least match him. At least when it comes to... It does get kind of hilarious because Zhao actually chases Bai all throughout the city just to get his rent. And when he finally catches... Yeah, Bai had to pay the rent. Bai forgot to pay the rent, and Zhao was hunting him down for it. It was actually pretty hilarious too, because he actually busted through a busted down library that recently just got torn down. He broke through it, and he's like, "Bai, where's my money?" And Bai just freaks out.
Jeez.
Yeah, it gets crazy after it gets the situations he gets involved in is just nuts. To him, this is just normal every day. Well,
I see.
Minus yokai, giant yokai. He's still trying to get used to that. But at any rate, the other reason besides Bai is the fact that the leader of the Tushan Fox Spirits, Yaya, he kind of has a bit of a, I guess you would call it, one of his past lives had a bit of a relationship with her, and it gets expanded and explored upon as it keeps going on.
Well, that's quite the story, Mark.
I know.
Anyone see Disaster Artist?
What is that? I could never
It's
I've never seen it.
It's a movie based off of this book written by one of the actors from this really bad movie called The Room. Yeah, and this is a movie based off of that book. I haven't seen it yet. Okay, well, you guys want to end
I
it
mean,
off here, or you got anything
there is
else?
one thing. I'm trying to remember. Like, what's your opinion about what's been going on recently with the whole net neutrality?
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Do you think it should be like a bit of a like constitutional, like
It
set
is
out-
it should be a constitutional thing. I'm gonna make it very short because as of lately, I'm trying to not let stuff like this get to me because it seems like every time I turn around, there's some kind of BS that's going on thanks to 45's stupid administration. Some people blame it on the Democrats, but me personally, I don't see them responsible for it because this is not the person that Obama appointed. This was 45's decision, and we already knew what his game was from the very beginning, is to dismantle the country and its laws because, well, mainly the laws that Obama put in place. And what it's just, yeah, basically it was that, which, well, it doesn't fascinate me because of the fact that, you know, he's a freaking idiot. But some of these rules and regulations were placed in by other presidents that were not even of the Democratic Party. Like the Affordable Healthcare bill, that was done by a Republican. It was not done by a Democrat. But anyway, that's besides the point. You know, some people are petty. It's just their main objective is to focus on the 1%. That's basically their end game. As far as, but going back to the main objective at hand is, I'm extremely upset by what has transpired. I'm extremely upset because because it's not just funds that we're concerned about, a blocking of websites, but I've looked into several different sources, several different articles. A lot of people are saying that the biggest thing is the companies have the right to chop up different web pages and what have you, but that's not only of the potential negative consequences that this is going to transpire. Of course, the fight is not over. There is some hope left regarding
someone actually trying to pass a law to make sure that this doesn't get passed.
Yeah, a lot of people, the courts have already stated on several notes that they are not happy with this. They are against the fact that they're trying to remove neutrality in that regard. The states are.
Hold on. Yeah, let
Sorry,
her finish.
several of
Okay.
these. Sorry, there's a lot of people that are also are sleeping now, so I gotta be careful.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people, a lot of states that are rebelling against this. They're suing the FCC for their stupidness. It's funny that as soon as the situation was over, they heightened security. Gee, I wonder why. But I know a lot of hands are in the pot of trying to save net neutrality, which gives me a large quantity of hope. What the biggest issue about net neutrality is not just the fact that the companies can come in and basically charge you extra money for certain websites. That's only the tip of the iceberg. What I see now with several of the articles, actually there was a professor on Twitter that basically did the lowdown of what potential issues that would come with the disappearance of net neutrality and what have you. It's not just because of the fees that you might be dealing with. That's just a small amount. What the biggest issue is, we are turning into a country like China.
What?
I'm sorry with these long pauses. I'm trying to, get my thoughts together.
compile what it is.
Right.
I get it.
The issue is, imagine you get mail, right? You get mail, and you have to, the mail that you get has to be filtered through these different companies. That means you get your mail. The companies have the ability to look through your mail. If they don't like it, they can dissect it and give you what they deem is technically feasible for them. And you only get, sometimes some people will get some parts of their mail. Some people won't get any of their mail. Using it as a metaphor. That, you know, if you have to have your mail and then somebody has the audacity to look through your mail, look through your private stuff, look through your letters or what have you, and then basically giving you only a portion of those letters, what they deem is feasible, what is considered censored, etc. That is a huge problem. It's an invasion of privacy. It's basically dictating on us. It's going up on invasion of privacy, censorship, altering information, which is a huge problem because you have students who want to, the internet, a lot of connections are done through the internet now. Heck, you can talk to people. I have friends who are across the pond, loved ones that are just across the pond, and the fact that it might possibly potentially be harder now because what I say and do might not be sufficient for what the companies want. And I feel that is also, if not scarier than paying an extra $9 for a popular website or faster internet, because I don't want anybody to be in my business. It's not their business to share. It's not their business to know. What I do with my family, what I speak with my family, some of the personal things that I like to share with my family and my loved ones. It's nobody's business but theirs. It's nobody's business but theirs. Also, as an artist, especially with the content that I have, there might be some things that they might take people who are artists and they express themselves in a certain way, like for instance, drawing kinomimis or anthropomorphic creatures, or, drawing nudity and sexy stuff. That will be called into question now. And it shouldn't be anybody else's business, but because of the fact that net neutrality is on the verge of might be on the verge of dying, these are the things that we can expect if it falls through and these big time companies, get a hold of the internet like this, when it's supposed to be a free highway. It's been a free highway since the freaking dial-up. And also, I kind of know more about, I know about this because my father works for Verizon, and he was telling me that they were actually trying to get people, bribing people of voting for net neutrality. If you vote to let net neutrality die, or call your senators and tell them, oh, kill off net neutrality, they'll bump up their salary. That's disgusting. That is disgusting. You don't need lobbyists to influence your decision. And heck, it might be nice to have a couple of dollars in your pocket, but for the sake of one's freedom and to be constantly subjective to these big time companies, I don't think so. I would rather live, as I think the old saying goes, I'd rather live my life
Free than be a slave.
No. I rather die. I rather stand and die than live my life while on my knees, I'm paraphrasing here. I can't remember the actual quote.
Die on my feet than live on my knees.
Yeah, I rather die on my feet than live on my knees. I think that's the quote. And I firmly believe that it's bad enough that we subject ourselves, or not, these companies subject us with ads, and we're constantly bombarded with ad coverage and what is considered status quo, such as the Starbucks and Apple and Microsoft, and marketing taxes. Every time you turn around, it's an ad. Heck, I remember, and I feel old saying this. I remember when YouTube didn't have ads. All it was is it was just videos.
Oh, now you're
But
making me tear up.
I wish I actually had started making. I wish I had a PS4 during those times, so that way I could have taken advantage instead of really launching my channel.
well, it was baby steps. Not to sound like an old, well, back in my day. Well, it was a time where it was very simple. The videos were very, very more difficult to make. Now it's a little bit more easier now that you have all these programs. But you didn't have to deal with ads all the time. But to a certain extent, some people might say differently, and having the ads on the internet is a lot better, which to a certain extent it is. Especially you have these big time YouTubers, Boogie2988, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, Game Theory, and several others, Aki Dearest, and all these other famous YouTubers. They're able to make a living and live comfortably, or live a decent life by doing these things. And like everything, it has its pros and cons, but but despite the fact, I wish the ads didn't come every freaking 5 minutes. That's it. That's all I say. Like maybe one ad and that's it. One short ad and that's it.
One short ad, that's it. Just keep it like that and you're good.
Yeah.
Just with what's going on with right now, I'm just gonna be right now. Someone pointed this out in a comment I read on YouTube. America is not a democracy anymore. It's a bureaucracy. Big corporations are just basically running this place.
Yeah, it's gotten to that point.
It's like it's like a precursor to Shadowrun. Now that I think about it.
Oh,
What Shadowrun?
yeah.
I don't.
Just minus without the magic or the supernatural stuff, it's basically a proto Shadowrun.
It's like a pen and paper RPG. It's I think it
Yeah.
was made by the same people who or some guys who worked with the same people who worked
Yeah.
on D&D.
Yeah, the big name corporations just want to use this as a way to get, as an excuse to get more cash and money. They don't care about the smaller corps like us or
It's like-
regular people.
Of course not. There's
Yeah.
another thing that I have an issue with is the tax bill. They're not dumb. They're not dumb. Like for instance, if you notice, we have a huge turnover of seats in the Senate. The Democrat wave, I think, as far as the next few years, it's going to be nothing but like consistent blue waves, basically. But even so, either blue waves or independent. Either one. Me personally, I don't mind it. I just basically want somebody who is just and tries to attempt to be a better human being than just doing things just to be doing just for their own particular benefit. And what I have a huge issue with is a lot of with the internet, and this coinciding with the tax bill, we're getting hit on both sides, because that means I'm part of this group online called the Artist Alley International Network, or AAIN. And one of the biggest things that I hear from my fellow artists is the fear of net neutrality going under, because how are they going to advertise their stuff, which is justified, and the tax break that they get during tax season, which is like towards April, towards April, March, around that time. If the latest June. And if they don't get the big tax cuts, usually they spend it on supplies. Some people do artwork full time. Not necessarily everybody has a part-time, but they're making it very difficult for us to basically contribute to the economy growing. Because the economy, if those if the big companies have full autonomy over everything, the economy is going to go under.
Big time.
We'll be in a depression like back in I would have to say the 30s and 40s.
So yeah,
we're basically backtracking on a lot of stuff. We're regressing back to the 40s and 50s, or they're trying to.
Speaking of that, I actually heard that the school that was once integrated has become segregated again.
What?
I'm not even lying about that. I actually read that up.
Link. You have to link that because I'm not sure about that.
Oh hang on. Accidentally scrolled over on something. Hang on. Let me look the one up again. Not first school that was integrated. I'm talking about school that was integrated. Okay, Birmingham. Yeah, it's from Newsweek. Racist school. Whites only. School segregation is back from Birmingham to San Francisco.
What? San Francisco? California is quite diverse. What the hell?
Yeah, what? Okay, well.
Yeah.
Where did you find this? Can I see this
News
link?
Center. This. I'm gonna find another place to find.
News Weekly. And when was this published? Because you had is this the only
May 2nd, 2017. I'm looking for other things like now.
Because I mean, if one particular news...
I saw it on Yahoo. I gotta look it up. I gotta look that one up again. I know it's to be around here somewhere. Let's see.
That's some good dead air.
Hacker shut down plant by targeting its safety system. Jesus Christ. Wait.
It didn't happen though. It seems that Claremont went to Columbia Law School in New York and returned to Binghamton to practice civil rights law in 1971. He argued Stout versus Jefferson County Board of Education, in which a black parent sued the county school system, which she claimed was segregated by race. The federal judge agreed to order the school to integrate. Okay, I think that was the time.
Trying to find the most recent one. How our schools segregated today? Why are schools segregated today? I know it was on Yahoo. I saw it. Just
I don't know. This seems like. Uh,
I
sure it
don't
wasn't on The
know.
Onion?
Because if that was the case, that would be big news. That would be
Yeah.
big news to have a school again, especially after.
Who knows? Maybe.
okay.
I
It looks
doubt
like
it.
the one of the most recent news articles was talking. This new recent article from November 3rd from the U.S. News. It's talking about new culprit in school segregation, private schools. A recent study shows that
That's
children, public and private schools in the District of Columbia are largely segregated by race.
You're a fraud, Mark.
Wait, no, it's just maybe just the elements might be all kinds wrong, but no, I do not necessarily.
I'm joking.
No. Let's see.
It's okay, Mark. I'm a fraud too. Happy Fraudmas.
U.S. News. Just. And this is November 2027.
Oh, there's a recent one as of December, a recent school article about this as of December 3rd. The California schools where the kids are all the same race, all in one map.
I don't understand that.
It's a title for the news article, and it was written on December 3rd, 2017.
Wow. Okay then.
Yeah, this is just getting crazy.
Well, what do you expect? You have a person. First of all, we haven't. If anything, we haven't remedied anything as far as race is concerned over the years. If anything, we let it fester and decay over time instead of addressing it like it should. Now, over all these years, you have
It's got to the point where it can't hide anymore. It's festered and.
Well, what do you expect when you have a president who spits such when you have 45 spitting such horrible rhetoric, and the people behind him is basically for the rich nationalists. For anybody who is Caucasian out there, I am sorry, I can't necessarily hide it, and I can't necessarily sugarcoat it, but for a white nationalist, misogynistic, racist,
That's literally what he's appealed to. And as I actually remember listening on news on CNN, someone that literally said I forgot who his name was, but he was a voter and part of like a white nationalist party, I think somewhere in North Carolina or something. I can't remember where it was, but he basically said and called out the president, and basically said this: the white voters were the only reason that you won. He literally said that on live TV.
Well, unfortunately, no, he's not wrong. The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. The numbers, that's why math is so rigid and hard. It's as is. It's just numbers, and that's it. No emotion, no emotion, no guessing, no second thoughts. It's just as is. A plus B equals C. That's basically it. But I would say majority of his voters, yes. Majority of his voters, yes. So if you want something better, for those who are a little bit more progressive in their thinking and not necessarily vouch for one particular group of people to thrive in this country, I would say use anything and everything in your power to basically either A, convince the people around you, educate them around you as much as you can, and continue learning and educating yourself about these things, and just try to be a decent human being. Fight for people who are being discriminated against. That includes sexual orientation, different ethnicity groups, different nations, different religions, different sexual identity, different genders. You know, fight for those individuals. That basically what we all want is a decent life. We want a family, we want a house, we want to live life to the fullest. We don't want to constantly live in fear and constantly looking over our shoulders and being overly paranoid of each other, because that's what I feel has happened. We are technically battling we're basically taking in a lot of stuff on so many different fronts. We have to deal with more of the physical stuff, such as, dealing with taxes and hoping net neutrality and making sure everybody has healthcare for everybody, but also we are fighting ourselves in the sense of doing the right thing, being humane towards each other. Because ever since this has transpired, we've ended up disliking each other and isolating ourselves into groups.
We basically just evolved into cavemen eating mud.
Okay, that's
Yes. Yeah, actually, you know what? In words of the math teacher from, what is it? Net Big
That's
Big.
declassified.
Yes. They said without math, we are nothing more than cavemen eating
mud.
And actually she is 100% right.
Literally like that.
Because she's like, it is what it is. It's not emotionally driven. It's basically as rigid as it is. A plus B equals C. And that's, in this particular case, you have to be rigid. You have to be rigid with your beliefs, in the sense of, do you want a life where everybody's in fear, everybody's in chaos? You basically are a slave to your emotions, because I feel that's also what has happened. People have become fearful of each other, and their decision making was not by the choice of being humane towards everybody and making sure everybody got healthcare, making sure everybody was taken care of, making sure that our country thrived with small businesses and the thriving of the middle class, so people who are poor could actually move up in their lives if they so choose to. Instead, it's more of, well, I'm going to look out for myself and that's it. Forget everybody else. Because it's just too many evidence shows towards that. The nationalistic idea, the white supremacist idea, it's basically going back to a time where where white Americans felt important. And this comes from so many different avenues of insecurity and self-importance and such. And they didn't think about how difficult.
They only thought about themselves.
Right. They didn't think about how difficult it was for the rest of us, that we were technically the outcasts. We were the other. We were treated poorly. We were beaten in the streets, sexually assaulted. And I'm talking about not just African Americans. I'm talking about Latin. I'm talking about Asian, the Native Americans, women, people who were gay, around, sexual orientation that was different from the straight male. Even, like, they say that, I want to be back to a simpler time where, there were no, people who were not who weren't gay or wasn't transgender. They were always there. People like that were always there. It's just that they never had the courage to express themselves, or if they did, they ran the risk of getting killed. or back in those times, especially in, you know, the ancient times, some didn't mind it. You had, like, you know, some didn't mind it. But for basically our little country, I will say little because we've lost our validation in the world. We lost a lot throughout this year. We lost a lot within the election portion in itself. We lost a lot in the sense of just
Our identity and who we are, I guess our, not our civil rights, but more like our power.
yeah,
What we once were, we're not as strong as we are as we used to be.
No, not at all. Europe is planning, they're cutting their ties with us. Germany, what they're banding, was it the European is cultivating together or making a suit, trying to make an army so they don't have to rely on us. French is willing, and I'm shocked of the French of all people. They're willing to pay their way, pay our section of the French or the European Global Act to keep everybody in line for, you know, the amount of pollution that causes, you know, global warming. What is it? Germany has no respect for us. London not willing to let any members of the administration, because first of all, they freaking half of them get fired within a week's time or month's time. Then
some of them just quit over the sexual allegations.
Yeah. What is it? The administration is like
it's starting to destroy itself from the inside out, and I just want to sit back and watch.
Me personally, I'm okay with that. They just got rid of one of them, the Omarosa.
They also got rid of Roy Moore.
Roy Moore.
The one who the
No. They didn't get no.
Well, he lost his race. He lost.
Yeah, thanks to African Americans, more specifically African American women, who did that. Me personally, again, I will say this: Caucasian people, if you want something better, you got to work a lot better than this. You know, things are not going to fix themselves. If you want peace and harmony and you want to be okay with your fellow man, get off your butt and do something. Get a picket sign, something. Instead of just saying thank you, do something for the
Instead of whining that you're losing everything, how about you at least stop whining and learn to accept and quit blaming everyone else, and instead, you know, take responsibility, man up, be a big boy.
Well, not a lot of people are willing to do that. They want to live in the fantasy,
like kids.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for messing it up, but then again, I'm Puerto Rican, so.
I'm Puerto Rican too.
I mean, you want to know what the sad thing is?
What?
Puerto Rico has kind of been screwed ever since it left the Spanish, because it left the Spanish. It was good. They declared independence. 8 days later, the U.S. attacked. Or rather, they just came in and just like snatched it up. You're part of us now, and ever since the hurricane, they have been so peeved. Like, the U.S. isn't doing anything.
Well, because of the fact that, again,
law and stuff.
Well, not only that, it's more than the Jones Law. It's basic. It's not just the Jones Law. It's getting into race now. A lot of dumb people
don't think that Puerto Ricans are Americans when in actuality they are.
They are Commonwealth. Well, I hope most Puerto Ricans know that yes, you guys are American citizens. You deserve the help. So is the Philippines. The Philippines, they deserve help too, because you guys are Commonwealths. You're basically in the family. You guys are pretty much the first cousins of the country, So, like any aspect of the family, they're just as important. When you get into distant cousins, it's a different story because you're trying to keep track of everybody. But no, for the most part, yeah, we should have, well, no, not we. We, as an American people, went out there and helped. You had a couple of truckers, you had people, I gave blood, I gave some money. Um, you know, I did my part to help my people, because that's a portion of my family. I have so many different portions of my family, it's not even funny. But yes, on my I have Puerto Rican in my blood, and I feel it's important that I should help them out, because I might not know them, I might not know them personally, but I know for a fact that I do have family on that island, and they definitely need the help. They definitely need the help. So 45 has basically single-handedly, him and his administration has single-handedly divided this country. And what's even more scarier is, by everybody else watching this, you have dictatorships that are looking for us to fall apart so they can come and swoop in. I'm not trying to say this, I'm not trying to scare anyone, but this is what happens when you have a nation that was once very powerful and unified. Even if we weren't completely unified, but most of us were banding together no matter what transpired. But now it's gotten to a point, especially when you have a leader. Wow. Can I revoke
He's not a leader, he's a chimp in a suit.
Please, whatever you do, don't insult the chimps in the world, please.
No, he is. He's a racist voodoo doll made out of discarded cat hair. No, he is. What would happen if the secret falls into the wrong hands?
Possibly.
Thank John Oliver for all those analogies, because honestly, he does it way better than me. Honestly, I can just say this. Our country is slowly. It's been getting a slow burn. This is just basically just happening right now. It's been happening for a long time. Like, our country's slowly losing strength, losing power, and now it's dying.
Well, the thing is this, we still have a chance. We can do something about this. I still remain hopeful. Next year, the more we vote in getting better people, and I'm not talking about just Democrats, I'm just decent human beings in office, it will be a lot better. Because even if, let's say, the tax bill does go through or net neutrality does go through, even though I'm less worried about net neutrality, because the courts did have stated that it's a stupid idea and they should let it be.
Just basically have net neutrality be constitutional, that it cannot be revoked or anything.
Yeah,
I'm surprised someone didn't punch that G pie.
Well,
that would have been awesome.
They called it a bomb threat.
Called it a bomb threat, but yes,
I would have been fine to sacrifice myself.
Yeah.
The thing is this, even if, let's say, for argument's sake, I hope this not to be true, the tax bill were to go through, you still have the next few years with new people in the Senate that would basically argue against the bill and can have it vetoed. We also have the ability to veto a bill if we don't like it. A lot of people do not know this.
Yeah, I think a few people do know about vetoing, and I would actually agree. Like, we gotta veto this stuff. We gotta veto this hard. The Congress can veto it, and really, I honestly hope we can at least do something about this fast, because we gotta set the record straight on this stuff.
Oh well, we got 3 more years. It's gonna be good.
Look, it says a constant. No. I don't want it to be 3 more years, because
I want it to be gone now.
It's a constitutional right to reject a decision or proposal made by the lawmaking body. You can veto it.
Yeah.
You can veto. Right. You can veto. You can cancel it. You know, it's not something, again, this is something that not a lot of people remember doing or know about it. But you can veto a bill, even if, let's say, the bill goes through and you don't like how it turns out. You can veto it. Um, you know, I think at any time, but you know, it's just that I just can't remember exactly when you can veto something.
Isn't that up to the executive
Politician?
Mm-mm. Hold on a second. Veto is a Latin word for I forbid is the power. Blah blah blah. Let's see. Roman consultant. Roman veto. We don't need Roman veto. We need USA. Constitution, legislation. Both houses of Congress must be presented to the president. This permission is the president's capacity to head the government. If the president approves of the legislation, then the president signs it into law. Article 2, according to Article 1, Section 7 of the Constitution, when the president chooses not to sign or does not approve of this bill, the president must return the bill. Unsigned within 10 days, including Sunday. If the Congress overrides, hold on a second. Including Sunday, the House of the United Congress in which originate while the Congress is in session. The President is constitutionally required to state an objection to the bill in writing, and the Congress is constitutionally required to consider them or reconsider the legislation and action in effect is a vote. If the Congress overrides the veto by a two-thirds vote in each house, it becomes law without the President's signature. Otherwise, the bill fails to become a law unless it's presented to the president again and the president chooses to sign it. Which we had that problem when Bush was in power. There was I can't remember which bill it was, but he went back and forth, and that was a total nightmare. There's more modified declaring unconstitutional. Okay, we'll get into that in a few. It says, bill can also become a law without president's signature if after the presentment, the president simply fails to sign it within the 10-day noted. If there is fewer than 10 days left in the session before the Congress adjourns, if the Congress does so adjourn before the 10 days have expired in which the president might sign the bill fails to become a law. This procedure is used in the formal device called a pocket veto. In 1983, the Supreme Court had stuck out with one House legislative vote, modifications declaring unconstitutional, on separations of power grounds and on grounds in the actions of one House of the Congress violated the constitutional requirements of bicameralism, a case where INS versus Chahad concern a foreign exchange student in Ohio that has been born in Kenya but whose parents were from India. Because he was not born in India, he's not an Indian citizen. Because his parents are not Kenyan citizens, he was not Kenyan. Thus, he had nowhere to go when his student's visa expired because neither country would take him. So he overstayed his visa and was ordered to show cause why he should not be deported from the U.S. The Immigration and Nationality Act was one of the many acts of Congress passed in the 1930s, which consists of provision.
The more you know.
Yeah, this is a lot for right now.
We'll just cut it short. Paraphrase it. Basically, I guess Congress has to get involved as well as.
Yeah. So
President.
even though you have the Senate. Who passed the bill, it still has to go by the House of Representatives. The House of Representatives and the Senate are completely two different things. And they're rushing the bill. Also, the House of Representatives have to look over the bill. And
I honestly just wonder, how long it's going to take before the American people just start, rioting into try to break into D.C. and drag the president out.
as far as riots are concerned, you're way behind because
I mean, I know there's riots. I just want to see like a full on, just
Uh,
full on taking over the White House.
not yet. We
Look.
gotta wait a little bit longer. I don't know.
Mm. I mean,
But
full on anarchy.
I'm surprised a lot of people are not getting more angry about this this
I
tax bill.
think
Because
they are. They're just waiting.
It's just not
waiting
much.
for what?
Yeah, why? There's not really much we can, I guess, do. Maybe that's
Well,
what
you
people
can do
feel.
stuff online, but
Yeah.
like repeal, basically tell
Call your
the
congressperson. No.
Well, I'm on a subscriber, daily subscriber of what is it? Of basically I'm a daily subscriber to basically something like that. I basically they ring me up and tell me the different representatives. Heck, when they got to Paul Ryan, I basically told them off how much I really hated the bill and how could you be so heartless. I bet if they came and saw these people, they wouldn't.
Politicians don't care. They only just care about money.
Yeah, I know.
Money and power. That's the only thing they care about.
Well, when the time comes, I hope there's something supernatural other than this.
I would kill for an apocalypse or something, or just return of magic in the world.
Well, actually, what I mean is supernatural is just that karma. I am heavily believe in karma. I do believe in a god, but I don't like organized religion, especially now because it's full of crap. These people you would think wouldn't let politics affect their decisions. Actually, on the contrary, a lot of Christians or supposed Christians actually would go for a man like this, and I don't understand. Well, I do understand why. It's not for the interests, but it's not the interests of the people, which technically religion is supposed to be defending. The little guy. The people that, supposedly come to you for comfort and, for comfort and for relief, at least something to calm the mind. I don't have that faith anymore. And, technically, I shouldn't be surprised because, well, what do you expect from a human? Humans are fragile and mentally and emotionally, they can be very, very weak. But they have so much room for potential. But of course, everybody, either A, they're selfish, or B, they're stuck in their comfort zone and don't want to do anything else that would make them better.
Sad part is I think I might be in that comfort zone. I'm peeved though.
What?
Yeah.
About everything that's going on. I just want this nightmare to end.
I
just want one of us all to wake up and call to arms, yeah.
Okay,
so
rise up.
Ending
a lot
thoughts.
of people feel this. This turned into more than I thought, because it's like well, actually, you know what? Let's do this on a semi-happy note.
Okay.
I just recently today I got assigned to a commission. Not too long ago. It's my second digital commission. I don't really get too many digital ones that much. And I just got assigned to a digital commission. Excuse me. Well, first of all, I was very taken back because I was happy that somebody took an interest in, my commission, and what have you. And this person was a father who wanted a chibi likeness of his daughter dressed up as Maka from Soul Eater. and he wanted her with a little soul. So I drew a little sketch of her. I'll show you guys the picture. It's not complete. It's just a simple sketch right now. But I'm hoping that I will line it tonight if I get this writing done. But I made this little commission of this sketch, and I'm planning to line it because he wants it digital. But what I didn't know is he got really emotional about it because he loved the picture of his daughter and this little soul. And he's like, I'm sorry, but my daughter was originally a triplet. And she had 2 other sisters, and they were identical triplets. But unfortunately, they passed away. They were newborns, and they passed away. And she was the only
no.
She was the only one who survived. And he's like, this picture means so much to me. And he's like, you just captured her beautifully. And I was like, that just made me feel so good, in the sense of drawing this picture to make one happy and say it's perfect, I love it, to drive somebody to feel something. And that just revived and reminded me of why I like drawing manga and why I like making stories and what have you, that I feel my main job in life is to make people happy with my art, and that it was just one of those times. So as somber and sad as the representation might be, the feelings of trying to work hard to make sure this picture comes out good enough so the client is happy with it, it makes me feel really, really nice to know that he's happy and enchanted by the picture. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm a little teary-eyed now.
That was just heartbreaking yet beautiful. It really was. Like, I really feel bad because, honestly, I mean, I only had like an older brother. I mean, I had a little sister who would be older than I am, but sadly she's not with us.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What happened?
She died but like 4 hours after she was born. She didn't have a bladder.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's...
I never knew what it would be like to have a sister, so I always imagined what would it be like.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to provoke memories like that, but I just,
Yeah, I was born way after her though.
I understand, but here's the
I
thing.
was born during that time. I just heard.
Just hang on to your loved ones. Please. Don't forget them. Love them.
I do.
It's that time. It's that time to spend a lot of time with your family and to basically enjoy their company and, just celebrate them. And that's to me, that's how the holidays should be. And I'm not talking about just biological family. I'm talking about your online family, your gaming group, your anime or otaku family, your cosplay family, your fantasy or LARP family, or any other family that you can think of, drag family, kink family, doesn't matter. Whatever family that you feel that you reside with, be with them during the holidays. Enjoy their company, love them, because every single bit of time is precious, and I have to learn that myself. I work I work hard as an artist and as trying to elevate myself in the medical field, and it's a challenge, but I wouldn't be here without my family, without my support system, without my otaku friends and otaku family, and you know, my gaming family, the gaming community, my D&D community, all of that jazz. I wouldn't be here without them.
Yeah, without my friends, I am nothing.
Amen.
Yeah, so hold on. Hold on to them. Hold on to them. But in the meantime, I'm going to get going because I got to I have to see what I have to take the dog out.
Oh, okay.
All right. So why is there something more you wanted to talk about?
Oh, no. We could end it off here.
No, I mean, if you wanted to talk more, we can. But it's, you know, it's up to you, really.
Honestly, I didn't really have much planned. We could continue just like regular talking, you know.
Yeah, just regular, you know, like regular talk without no.
That's right. Don't have to
no
record.
strippers.
Hopefully this one doesn't crash. If this one crashes, I'm gonna crash into a wall.
Please don't. Try not to mutilate your
My knuckles.
Yes, please don't do that.
Okay.
Or at least try not to, because whatever happens, and you know, it's like, I'm not, you know, it's like you can only do, but you know, you try your best. Try your best. That's all you can do.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, this was another exciting episode of the D-Pad, and I'm a fraud.
Yeah.
Fraud? Why would you say something like that?
I don't know, it's just a joke. It's from a Red Letter Media, these reviewers, and they call themselves frauds. Like they're not actually good reviewers. That's kind of the joke.
Oh. I see. Because I was like, fraud? No. Silliness. Shame on you.
Okay, well, thank you, Kitty, especially. You always have really insightful things to say. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you
Yeah.
for inviting me. I'm sorry if I ran on my soapbox a little too hard this time.
Oh, no,
It's
it
just,
happens.
Alright.
You're just passionate, yeah.
Well, what can I say? You know, a lot of people, as they get older, they become cynics. I've seen a lot of people turn into cynics, and you know, I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, I hate people. I hate dealing with people. I hate talking with people." For me, on the opposite side, I feel I love people. For the most part, I do love people. I just feel like there is a lot that can be learned, and hopefully people will learn the good stuff about other people, that you know, one day we don't have to say, well, you know, I'm this, that, and the third, and try to put us in a box and try to keep us separate and think that, you know, everybody is better off with just one group running the show. Everybody, as a human race, we cannot survive based on just one group. It just can't work. You might as well die. It might as well die off. You've seen it in other species. In other species, you know, not continuing the DNA line and just doing things residing on their own, they eventually die out. The lone wolf, you know, eventually they die out. So as a human family, I feel like we should work together. Try to be understanding, listen to your fellow man and their issues and problems and experiences. I feel, yeah, this is the time to do it. Good deeds run rampant during this time of year, helping out your fellow man. You know, it's a season of giving, forgiving, learning about your fellow man, and continue doing it throughout the year, not just this season solely. You know.
True.
So.
All right.
So.
Well, we'll talk later.
Bye.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye. Oh wait, one last thing. My boyfriend was wondering if that segment with me screaming my head off in that at the time, was that recorded?
I don't think it was, but if it was, I'll make sure to delete it.
Please let me know, because he actually wants to know, and I said no, and he's like, darn, thwarted again.
Oh, okay.
He's like a Saturday morning cartoon sometimes. Oh my god. like he's like the Saturday morning villains at times. But no, he's a sweetie for the most part, even though he says otherwise.
Yeah.